I'm joined by Kyle Balgames. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian to Mars.
Zach Allen. I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Counter-Attack here, Relax.
Alright, welcome everybody to another episode of Making Magic Happen, brought to you by RW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, today joined by my teammate,
Raja.
And we got more standard testing. It's not going to stop. I'm just going to keep playing these because this format's actually really fun. I'm really enjoying it.
By the time Arena comes out, we're going to know the format inside and out.
I'm actually, like, I know it's weird, but I'm actually, like, kind of hyped for that.
Yeah.
To get to the ladder, feel like you have an advantage, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So anyway, I haven't really seen very many control decks floating around, and I think people on the channel might know me as a Goblins player recently, but Raja can tell you I have been a control player for the majority of my MTG career, and I saw some control cards out there I wanted to brew. I got the feeling it's tough to build a control deck when literally there hasn't, like, I haven't even know what to play on ladder, so I don't even know what people are playing, but
yeah,
I feel like after looking at some of the cards that this is a good place to go. So I built straight blue-black control. I think you could make an argument to put Uro in the deck, but the more we build these decks, going 3 colors is tough. And, like, you can go 3 colors in, you know, like Jeskai. In fact, you can go 3 colors in all of the Triumph colors, except Sultai doesn't have 2 of the Pathway lands. It's the only one.
Is it the only one?
It's the only one that doesn't have 2.
That's rough.
All the other ones do. So Sultai is a tough one to splash a double green card, because Uro is a double green card.
Bant's. Oh, Bant's not one of them, sorry.
Bant's not even close. It also only has 1, but it also doesn't have a Triumph.
I'm just thinking of, like, the Uro shells from last format.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
You could probably do Teamer. Teamer does get 2 of them.
It does.
You could do a Teamer Uro shell, but so I'm trying to build a control deck that doesn't play Uro, and I think at this point it's pretty well known. Escape is a busted mechanic, and most decks should probably have 1 escape card in them. And you'll see a lot of successful decks do have 1. I don't get Uro, so I'm playing Cling to Dust instead, and I think this graveyard is going to be pretty, or this format is going to be pretty graveyard-centric.
I agree.
We talked about Uro. We said Escape is really good. There's just, you know, Zenith Flare we've seen from the cycling deck. There's just a lot of decks where being able to hate on the graveyard in some fashion is powerful, and worst case scenario, you can usually cycle it. So I'm playing 2 Cling to Dust. We're going to see how it goes, but the real draw to black to me is that, again, we said there's a bunch of recursive creatures, there's a bunch of, you know, graveyard synergies, all of this. Black Sweeper's Exile, and getting rid of Uro, getting rid of Cruxa, those cards are a big deal, but even more than that, you know, Luris is a card in this format. It's going to be good against your stuff, but we were saying the last video that we thought Agadeem's Awakening was going to be one of the best cards in the entire format, and exiling so the creatures don't go to the graveyard is going to be good. That said, you can still get stuff to the graveyard, but the Black Sweeper's Exile, so I want to try them out. Extinction Event is like a conditional exile. I can hit, you know, creatures of 1 CMC or the other. That's nice because a lot of the times you're going to pick odd, just because generally people play more 1s and 3s than they do 2s and 4s. It's because it's lower on the curve. So I have a lot of tokens in this deck, so I can, you know, put tokens out and then choose odd and keep, you know, my Ashyak tokens around or my Shark Typhoon tokens around or whatever. Shadow's Verdict is a really interesting one. It's actually from the new set. 5 mana, exile all creatures and planeswalkers with converted mana cost 3 or less. We've never had a sweeper that hit planeswalkers like this. I mean, Ugin does, but definitely interesting that this can do that. So, and then it also exiles all creatures and planeswalker cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from all graveyards. I think this was just straight up like a plant to kill Uro, which is, that's what it feels like to me. But also probably was supposed to be for Oko. Those cards aren't, well, Uro's still here, Oko's not, but you know, nice to be able to hit planeswalkers. I do think Jace is going to be a pretty good player in the format, and it's kind of awkward, like, to deal with a kicked one, and this can just kind of cleanly answer it, which is pretty nice.
Yep.
Other than that, I've got a bunch of, you know, picked out removal spells. Bloodchief's Thirst is pretty good. Heartless Act. I've got Into the Royal to deal with problem permanents, because blue-black has a problem with permanents like that. Enchantments, artifacts, I can't really deal with those very well. We've got 2 Essence Scatter, 2 Negate. I think, you know, 2-2 split. That'll probably change as the meta develops, but for the start, I think that's fine. 4 Neutralize, 3 Boon of the Wishgiver, and 3 Seagate Restoration as my card advantage. I've got 1 Teferi Master of Time. Just wanted to be able, game 1, to have a way to pitch removal spells against decks where they're not good, or pitch counter spells against decks that are more aggressive. And I think Teferi does a good job of that. I don't think the card is great, but you know, nice to be able to, you know, fuel my Cling to Dust. Just does enough as a one-of that I think I can play it. I also thought about an Ugin here. I could definitely see an Ugin, but wanted to keep my curve a little lower game 1. And then I'm winning with Ashiok, just making 2 3s and milling you out. I have 2 Crawling Barons as just, you know, a mana sink. You can actually activate Crawling Barons. Like, I can pass with a Neutralize up, and then activate Crawling Barons on your turn if you don't do anything. I don't even have to turn it into a creature. I can just put 2 counters on it.
That's what I was going to say. It's like really cool how they designed it that way. So where you can just, like, if you don't want to exploit it, but you still want to use your mana to charge it, you have the opportunity.
Exactly.
The option to.
Which is really sweet in a control deck, because then by the time I'm actually ready to start using it, it can already be like an 8/8 or something. Yeah.
You can protect it with like a negate or something.
Yep. And then just end the game really fast. Shark Typhoon, I mean, we know Shark Typhoon's really good. It's been good since it's been printed. I think it's just a really powerful card. And then I'm trying Hagra Mauling as just a land that's also a removal spell. I don't know how good this one's going to be. I'm interested to see it. We were actually saying in the last video that the lands that always come into play tapped are a lot worse than the mythic ones, so we'll see how it goes. I think it's interesting.
I think control decks get away with it a little more than the aggro decks. I think the point I was trying to make was that aggro decks don't want to be playing too many of that effect.
Sure.
I think this one's fine, and I also think this rate's actually very reasonable.
Sure.
The fact that it can sometimes be just murder, which is seen play in standard multiple times.
Yep.
I think is really good. And one of those this card is one of those cards where it says instant, but sometimes you want to cast it as a sorcery, because if you have 3 mana up and your opponent doesn't have a basic yet, and you pass thinking you're going to kill during their combat step, and they play a basic for turn, there's no window for you to respond.
Yeah.
So you need to just kill that thing sometimes.
That's actually a really interesting point on that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's what I'm doing. It's counterspell, kill spells, and some planeswalkers. I only have 3 planeswalkers. I'm actually a little nervous that this deck doesn't have enough card advantage, and I was really trying to figure out the right way to do it. And it's tough because there's no, like, you know, a lot of times in standard there's like, oh, there's the mythic card advantage engine or whatever, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna play 5 mana Teferi, he just draws, he's perfect, or I'm gonna play Sphinx's Revelation, or
Glimmer plus Gearhulk.
Yeah, Glimmer plus Gearhulk, all these things. It doesn't really feel like there's one of them. I mean, Seagate Restoration kind of feels like that thing, but I don't know how good it is. I kind of want to see. And Boon also kind of feels like that thing, but I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Yeah. No, I think the ones that exist right now are like all sorcery speeds, like Boon.
Yep.
Or the new Inscription, I think it's called. The blue.
Yeah, there's a blue Inscription.
I think if that
Also
card was
sorcery
an
speed.
yeah, if that card was an instant, it'd be like a way better Glorious Genius, right? So
Yeah.
it'd be very good. But yeah, I think they want you to be drawing cards at sorcery speed in this format. So.
Which is a little annoying for a control deck that has counterspells in it, but it's what we're gonna have to do. So let's see how it works out.
Yep. So I'm playing a black-white kind of sacrifice theme, just like all creatures that try to synergize with each other. This deck is mostly built around Luminous Broodmoth, which I think is a very good card that hasn't seen much play yet. Basically what the card does is it's a 4 mana 3/4 with flying, and it says if a non-flying creature would die, it comes back with a flying counter. And so you want to maximize that effect by having a lot of creatures that have good ETBs, or like, you know, you can like sacrifice them for value and then get them back immediately. So we start with 4 Whisper Squad, just find some more bodies. Then once we have more bodies, we have Village Rights to turn those bodies into cards. We have Selfless Slaver because it can protect our Luminous Broodmoth, because Broodmoth itself can't protect itself. It can rebuy all your non-flying creatures, but it itself has flying. We have the new card, Acquisitions Expert. It's a 2 mana 1/2. When it comes to play, your opponent discards a card, or they reveal X cards where X is the size of your party, and then you choose one, discard it. Usually this is just going to be a discard 1 card effect, or they only show 1 card because we don't have too many cards at your party. We have 2 clerics, but this is a rogue, and that's basically it. And our clerics are Null Priest of Oblivion, which is a 2 mana 2/1 with Menace and Lifelink, and then you can kick it for 4 mana to bring back a creature. And then we have a Demon's Disciple, which is a 3 mana 3/1 that says when it enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. So these cards are both cards that you want to discard to get back our Luminous Broodmoth or other important pieces. And this is a card where you can, if you have a Luminous Broodmoth in play, you play it, you can just sacrifice it to itself immediately, and it'll come back and trigger again with Luminous Broodmoth, which is a pretty cool interaction.
Yeah.
And then we have Fiend Artisan, which is a card that, in a deck with this many creatures, this deck literally has all creatures and 3 Village Rights. It's going to get big on its own, but it can also sacrifice things, which can come back with Luminous Broodmoth and find more relevant pieces. Maybe we get Grey Merchant Massiville because we have a lot of devotion and we want to try to race We can find our sacrifice engine. We can protect our luminous broodmoth if we already have one. A lot of cool things that the Fiend Artisan can find, and some cool sideboard cards. Then we have another new inclusion in Skyclave Apparition. This is a way for a deck that's not playing a lot of non-creature spells to have interaction. I can tag a non-token, non-land permanent that costs 4 or less and exile it, and then when this dies, they get a token. Cool interaction in this deck is I can use Woe Strider to sacrifice it with a trigger on this deck if I wanted to, and then they'll never get an illusion. They'll just basically lose that permanent forever.
They do get a 0/0 illusion.
Right. So
Yeah,
if they have
so
a
they
DT,
don't get
if they have like a trigger that cares about that, then
Yep.
so yeah, we have Woe Strider, which is a nice way to trigger the stuff that we talked about here. Grey Merchant's kind of our top end to try to close out games. If we have like Grey Merchant plus Woe Strider plus Luminous Broodmoth, we play this, train them for a bunch, sacrifice it immediately, get it back, train them for more,
Yep.
and close out a game real nicely. And then last card I want to talk about, I guess we have also Luros, which is nice to buy back things, and it creates 2 black pips. And then one of the big things that actually got spoiled after I built this deck is
Yep.
Agadeem's Awakening. I think this is one of the best cards in the set. It's the black mythic untapped land spell with the cycle. And it says black, 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 X, return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that have different cover mana cost, X or less. So in this deck we have a litany of CMCs from 1 to 5, and a lot of creatures, so there's our graveyard in theory should have a lot, which means that this is going to be a card that can just, you know, fight through a lot of removal. Even if we want to, we can just sacrifice all the things to ourselves if we have like a reason for that. I'm not sure what that would be. Maybe to like I guess one thing I could do is I can like if I have already had my creatures come back from Luminous Broodmoth as flyers,
Yep.
I can sacrifice them to Woe Strider and then bring them all back with Agadeem's Awakening, and now I'm insulated against a sweeper.
Yeah.
So little things like that. This deck's kind of just like a cute synergy deck that has some powerful cards that you want to build around, and then a lot of support cards that are less good but work well with those cards.
No, I totally agree. And you saw we played the white-black Clerics deck in that one video, and it got kind of crushed. But that was because we played it before Agadeem's Awakening came out, and right away, like, it just felt like I had trouble grinding, and like I needed to get some more value on my mana base. But you know, Castle Lockthorn is a really powerful card, but it wasn't good enough.
I probably should be playing that in this deck.
Well, fair enough. But I mean, Agadeem's Awakening just seems so much better. This card is so powerful, and you get it for free. Like, it's just a swamp.
Yeah, and like the drawback is that sometimes you're going to take 3 damage, which isn't that big a deal now that Shocklands are gone. But in this deck I have like Grey Merchant, Luris, Null Priest of Oblivion, all gain me life, so like I can kind of mitigate that by myself.
Definitely.
So
Yeah, so I agree with you on that. Agadeem's, I think it's going to be really important to find the best Agadeem's Awakening shell, you know, when we actually can start playing on Arena, and you're going to see us do some more digging into this, because this card's really powerful.
Yep, I'm very excited to bring back Jolriel and Uro,
Ooh, okay.
and then have the Uro trigger the Jolriel, and
Okay.
then die, and then I'll draw a card and get the 2/2, and I'll be happy.
I mean, that's fair. You should have seen, I played my my Greater Good Uro deck of the thing. I played a Sultai version that was trying to win with Thassa's Oracle and Unearth.
Okay.
Unearth was really sick with Uro, because you just like...
1 mana game 3, it's Explorer for 1 mana in game 3.
Well, yes, but even more than that, like if you had the Greater Good in play, you'd play Uro, sack it, draw 7 cards, put a land in play, unearth it for 1 mana, draw 7 more cards, discard 3. It was
Oh
so
my god,
sweet.
I didn't even consider the fact that Uro loses his drawback when you have Greater Good. You just draw more cards, that's so good.
It was so sweet.
That's awesome.
Alright, let's shuffle up in battle though.
Let's do it.
Alright, we're here for game 1. Raja, even or odd?
Odd, always.
You're an odd one. Alright, right away with the awkward mana. Oh, that made it better. Alright. Yeah, that's actually still kind of awkward. I think this is a keep. Awkward mana is awkward. Would kill to have just another blue-black. And I maybe should be playing this Sultai Triumph in this deck just as a blue-black tap land. But
If you're hurting for sources and you think you're playing like a lot of color-intensive cards, then maybe.
yeah. There's actually a chance that I don't even need this card, and I should just have it be Sultai Triumph, but yeah, we'll see where it goes.
My hand's good. I'll keep.
Alright. How you doing over there?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna play an island and pass.
Alright. I'm gonna lead on a Amiria's Call. Go ahead and make that a
17?
yes. Amiria Shattered Skyclave.
You got a little doggo?
I got the pup.
Nice!
A little pupper. Go ahead.
I'm gonna play a Seagate Restoration as just a tap land and pass.
Alright. Looking for one.
Yep, 19.
Play Bright Climb Pathway. Have it come in as a Grim Climb Pathway.
Mm-hmm.
And cast an Acquisition Expert.
I have to reveal a card and
Sure.
discard it?
Yes.
I'm going to reveal Negate.
Okay. Discard it now.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll play Clearwater Pathway as the black one.
Okay.
Water.
Yep.
I don't have it.
Do I have it? I might have it.
It's over here somewhere.
I don't have it.
Just give me a black one. I'll find it. Here? I don't know. I have a black land in play. Perfect. Where are all the black lands? No. This stack might
We may or may not have hundreds of cards to our...
be. That we've
Our
printed
size,
out, yeah,
yeah.
trying to figure out where all the cards are.
We've built many decks. All for you guys. So if you can leave a like or subscription or a comment, we'd appreciate it.
We've taught them well. Oh my god. Disaster. Here? I think they're here. I've got it.
Did you find it?
No. What is this?
Hey guys. How do you like my deck so far? I cast a 1-drop on turn 1, and a 2-drop
All of this.
on turn 2.
What is this? It's your deck. Is it here? It's got here, dude. Nope, not there.
What about there?
Nope, that was the...
Here?
It's probably right there. Yeah, it's definitely fucking right there. Alright, I only have 2, but they'll work. Alright, I'm gonna play Murkwater Pathway and
Yep.
pass.
Okay. I will attack for 2.
I'll go 17. Oh,
I will play a Whisper Squad.
should probably get rid of this problem before it starts. Neutralize your 1-drop.
Alright. So if Zach had let that resolve, I would have played this. That's why we didn't play our land first, but now that it didn't resolve, I'm just going to play my Temple. Scry. Yeah, I think I'll keep that. Good.
Best draw on the deck. I'm going to play a Fabled Passage and pass 2.
I will play a Bright Climb Pathway as a Grim Climb Pathway. And I will cast a Luminous Moth.
Resolves.
Come yet? Attack. Got a Shark Typhoon?
Nope.
Alright.
Go to 15.
Good.
Alright, end of turn I'm going to fetch.
So we have a pretty cool interaction here where like the Savior can protect the Luminous Moth, and then we'll come back so I'll still be able to use it again. Potentially.
Yeah. Does it protect it?
Zach might have a extinction event here. What?
It's not an extinction event. It's not going to protect it from this spell, though. We're going to send this Broodmoth into the Royal.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Ship it home, buddy.
I can still sack this in response.
You could.
Kind of
Make
flying,
it indestructible.
flying pup.
And give it flying, sure. You get past all my blockers.
That's right. All resolve.
Drop. Play Crawling Baron's good.
Alright.
Got my blocker lined up now.
Do you have your blocker?
Ready to go.
Let's recast this Luminous Moth.
Sounds fine.
Come it.
Yep.
I'll attack you.
I am not going to block. Go to 14.
Good.
End of turn, I'm going to play Soul Shatter.
So this makes me sacrifice it?
It makes you sacrifice a thing with the highest CMC
Okay.
among creatures or planeswalkers.
So that gets around my Self-Saver as well, unfortunately. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have 3 cards in my deck to get around it, and I drew 2 of them.
Alright.
Awkward draw is awkward. I'll play a Swamp. Here you go.
Alright, let's keep casting these Brood Moths.
So many moths.
This is a result.
Results.
Commit.
Yep.
I'll attack you for 1.
13.
Very good.
I'm gonna put counters on my crawling barons.
Sure.
2 counters. Peace. Drop. Alright. That was a really good draw.
This is the card I can't beat. One of the many.
No. Well, I don't know if you can beat this one, but you might be able to. I'm just gonna cast a Boon of the Wishgiver.
Okay. That one I might be able to beat.
We'll find out. Draw 4 cards? That's so many cards. Then I'm gonna play a land and pass.
Alright. Ooh, that's a nice one. I got a few options here. I think this is the one we want though. So I'm gonna play a Wolf Strider and I'll
Yikes.
get in for 5.
Yep, mid 8.
Good.
Drop. Oh, you got a goat, dude.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget your goat.
Forgot this card has that text. It's my first time ever cast a Wolf Strider.
That's fair. This is really annoying. I don't know. Ah, boy, alright. I'm gonna play another Crawling Barons.
Alright.
Alright, I think the play here is Blood Chief's Thirst, the Selfless Savior.
Okay. So I could sacrifice it to give something indestructible, although Zach will still have a window to kill something. And seeing as how his removal suite isn't really, like his sweeper suite isn't destroy based, exile based, I don't think there's much value in that, so I'm actually just going to sacrifice this for a scry.
Okay.
Do you have any responses?
No, well, this is gonna trigger, right?
This is going to trigger.
Yeah, so with that trigger on the stack, how are you setting up your triggers?
I
guess
don't have
this
an
trigger's
option.
gonna go on top of this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, I don't have an option.
Alright, so with that return trigger on the stack, I'm gonna Heartless Act the Brood Moth.
I will sacrifice it as well.
Okay, so you got 2 scries,
2 scries.
and the thing's coming back.
And things. I guess, you know what, sorry, how many cards do you have in hand? 4. I'll respond by sacrificing this to this.
Okay.
So, this is the first thing that's going to resolve. Comes back, you discard a
Well, you
card.
could discard, oh yeah,
Yeah,
you could
that's
discard another negate.
Then I scry.
Keep trying.
Ooh, that's not bad. You're at 8. How many cards do you have in hand?
3.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and... God, so many choices. So much room for activities. Alright, I'll keep this on top.
Okay.
And so, and this will die.
Yep.
I'll keep this on top again.
This has a flying counter.
It does have flying, and so does this.
I got him. Yes, we got counters.
Oh man, they're different. They look different too. Alright, so... Okay, I think we're good.
I'm making you more.
Alright, that's plenty. So we have some evasive attackers, which is cool. And we like the card on top of our deck, so.
Good.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna play an Ashiok next.
Ashiok's good.
Time to make a nightmare happen. Goes up to 6. Where are my nightmares at? Right here. What'd you do with all the nightmares, dude?
I'm hiding them from you, man.
We had them.
You did have them. They might be in that pile.
Yeah, they are in there. Go ahead. It's your go.
Yep, I'm thinking.
It's your turn, man.
Alright. Fly. So many options, man.
I don't like to hear that.
A lot of options.
You can Agadeem's Awakening back a Whisper Squad.
Alright, I'm gonna play a... Oh, that's not how that works. I don't like you anymore. I'm gonna sacrifice this to draw 2 cards.
Sure.
Alright. I will... I'm gonna get you for...
2.
2... I don't think I want to attack into your nightmare. Yeah, it's just gonna be 2.
Do you want to attack Ashiok or me?
Yep.
No, I'm at 6.
And then I'm gonna cast the Luris.
Oh, jeez.
Crystal Temple, I would temple. Oh! I'm forgetting that my card works the way I want it to. I'm forgetting that this is a land. I'm gonna play this instead.
Okay.
We're gonna play it for life.
Sure.
And
14. Oh, got Whisper Squad?
oh man, that changed everything. Yeah, okay. And I'm gonna play another Luminous Brood Moth.
Oh my god, so many moths. Mothed up. Alright, draw. That was a very interesting draw.
It's alright. It's my fault. I realize I can cast this way too late, because I would have attacked with this too. But it's my fault. I need to get used to these new cards.
Alright. I am gonna into the Royal your Will Strider.
Sure.
And then... No, I screwed this up. Can I go back?
Can I go back on mine?
Well, I'm gonna target something else. Nothing's changing.
Alright.
I'm gonna target Brood Moth.
Alright. That's fine.
I guess you could sack it. Do you want to sack it?
I guess I could fizzle your draw. I don't know how much I actually need this Luminous Brood Moth. Based on how my hand's set up. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna sack it.
Okay, I'm not drawing this. Then I'm gonna cast Extinction Event on Odd.
Okay. I guess I can sacrifice this in response to this spray.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll keep that. This gets exiled.
And I'll attack you for 2. You exile 2 things.
Oh, okay. I guess it didn't matter that I kept that. Yep, I'll take 2.
And then I'll make another Nightmare.
Yeah, if I attacked with my Will Strider after I play my Luminous Brood Moth, you either have to take 3 damage or lose your guy.
Sure.
And like I just didn't, because I didn't think I can cast it. but you live and you learn. Zach is at 6.
I actually got called next turn. Just so you know.
Do you have anything exiled? It's just me.
It's you. I cast your stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I can ping it for one if I need to.
Just letting you know.
Alright. Message received.
You got an alt coming, my friend.
So many decisions. This deck's hard to play, man. Very hard deck to play. Alright. I will take your Ashok for 1.
Alright.
I will play a Lurrus.
Sure.
So I'll Temple first. Don't want that. And I'll recast my Selfless Savior.
Okay.
Go.
We got a pretty sweet turn here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Guess the good old 7-minute divination.
Broken, dude.
I do have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game, which is really good because I just drew 2.
True.
Oh, that's good. Alright, I'm gonna play a Temple of Deceit and Scry.
Yep.
Probably don't want that very much. On the bottom of that. It feels so good to draw that many cards.
Shit. 7-minute draw 2 is broken, man.
Alright, I need to start attacking. I'm gonna bash. You guys all 4.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. No walks.
Okay.
I'm at 8.
And I'm gonna make another guy.
Alright.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll start by playing my Mr. Squad.
Oh no. Yep.
And I'll play a Premier Trail Vespidel.
Does that just kill me?
Let's kill you.
Oh no! Alright, yeah, I'm dead.
Alright. Let's try to set that up for a while.
My 7-minute draw 2 wasn't good enough.
I can't believe it, man.
I was gonna draw 2 Fairy. Would have made my 7-minute draw 2 equally as bad. Alright, so that was actually something I was concerned about with this deck, is that the card advantage engine wouldn't be that good. And I still think Seagate Reborn is a good card, something I should be playing.
Yeah, I'm sure you should.
But it didn't look very good there.
There's a reason why I think that card's the worst of the cycle, but like,
Yeah,
it's still like, the worst of that cycle is still gonna be a very good card.
that's fair. Alright, we're back post-board. Something people should be aware of about control decks is you have to build control decks, especially in Standard, to have a plan when you play against decks that don't have a lot of creatures in them. So my sideboard has a lot of win conditions, a lot of cards like Duress and more Negates and Mystical Dispute and all these cards that aren't good against a creature deck. So when I lose game 1 to a creature deck, I don't get to bring in very much. I'm cutting 2 Negates, and I'm bringing in the 1 Extinction event on my board and 1 Cling to Dusk, which is probably not very good against you, but...
Well, it's awkward because you don't get to draw a card when you hit a creature.
Yep.
And like, that's what you're gonna be going for, because I don't have really other targets.
Yep.
But it can be good against like Lurrus or... Yeah, I don't think it's great.
I mean, it can stop a thing from coming back with like the Luminous Broodmoth trigger, which would have mattered there. Like,
Sure.
if I had had one, it would have been good. So I still think it's better than Negate, which I don't actually think does anything.
Sure.
I drew both of them last game, and they were not good.
It's rough, yeah.
Alright.
For me, I'm going to be bringing in 2 Liliana Standard Bear. This is like kind of like one of my better cards for control matchups. Makes it so that I can draw X cards where X is the number of creatures that died that turn when it comes to play. And it's got Flash. So between like Rope Strider or just natural removal spells, I can flash it in and draw like 1 or 2 cards. Pretty cool. Kai'Sel Freebooter is just like more creatures that have discard effects. It doesn't work well with Luminous Broodmoth, but it does work well with Lurrus. And it's just kind of a nice thing to have access to that I can find with Fiend Hunter. Excuse me, Fiend Artisan.
Yep.
And then we have Duress. Duress is just good against control decks. Nothing new here. And then boarding out Skyclave Evaporation. Zach basically gave me like 0 targets for. I couldn't even hit his Nightmare tokens. I had it last game just sitting in my
It
hand.
doesn't do anything, yeah.
Yep. Demon's Disciple, like it's kind of the same situation. If Zach plays an Ashok, he just has like an easy way to like throw a token under the bus. And then Null Piece of Rip, I cannot talk anymore. No Priest of Oblivion is the lifelink doesn't really matter. The menace doesn't really matter. The fact that I can kick it to bring back a creature for 6 mana is kind of cool, but it's a lot of mana, and Zach's playing like Essence Scanner. So I don't think it's very good. And then I have cutting one of the 2 Grey Merchants. I don't really need reach that much. The life gain doesn't matter at all, and I still have one to tutor up with Fiend Artisan. So I think cutting one's fine.
Okay. All right. I think I have to be disciplined mulligan here, but I only have 1 land, but I have like 15 sweepers. And I've got a counterspell that cycles and an Into the Royal, so if I draw a second, it even scries.
You know, the thing about 5-drops though, Zach, is you need lands.
I would have hit!
Alright. My hand is good. I'll keep.
Great.
It's a little land light, but I'm gonna draw. And my deck doesn't need a ton of mana to cast spells, so I think it's fine.
Alright. We got both colors of mana now. That's great. I have 2 of this card, so I think it's an easy bottom. Even though it's like not that bad, it's also not that good, so we'll get rid of that one. And I'm going to lead the game off with a Temple of Deceit, and I'll scry. Yeah, that's fine. I'll keep that.
Alright. Draw. I'm going to play a Bright Climb Pathway as a Grim Climb Pathway and cast a Duress.
I've got a Cling to Dust, a Shadow Verdict, a Neutralize, and 2 islands.
Okay. Even though Zach, we're pretty far away from the stage where Shadow's relevant, I'm still going to take it because I just can't beat that card.
Sure.
Good.
I'm going to draw, I'll play an island, and pass to you.
Alright. Draw. This is interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and play this for black again and cast an Acquisitions Expert.
I'm going to respond and Cling to Dust your Duress. I'm going to discard this island you know about.
Good. That's all I know about is Neutralize at this point.
Yep, you know Neutralize. Go ahead.
I will attack you for 1.
19.
Simple.
Yep.
I will keep that. Good.
I'm going to cycle on Neutralize.
I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna Village Rights my Expert.
Sure. Draw. I'm going to scry with a Temple of Deceit. Is that good? I guess I keep that. Alright, go ahead.
I will play an Expert.
I'll neutralize it.
You got it, man. Temple. I'll keep that on top. Good.
I'm going to play a Secret Restoration as the land.
On taps?
Yeah.
Or taps? Okay.
I also have a random Secret Restoration over here that should be in my deck. Bottom.
Well, was it supposed to be the other one?
I don't know. I like took the land out and didn't put it back in, I think.
Okay.
Because I have 3 of the lands here.
Thanks. Okay.
So I should just have one in my deck somewhere.
Alright.
I'll just put it in the middle.
Sure.
Go ahead.
I'd like to play this post-combat, or post-spell, but I need to not. So I'm going to play this and cast a Lurus.
Okay.
And I'll cast an Expert.
I hate it so much. Alright, I'm just gonna Fabled Passage, I guess. Alright. Draw. No!
Is it a 6-drop? Is it Strike Typhoon?
No. It's the tap land. It is a kill spell, so I'm gonna have to kill Lurus, but
Yeah. That seems.
Oh, you don't have a basic. It's only 3 mana. Perfect.
You get on the discount, man. Congratulations.
Yes. All right, go.
Oh my goodness. It's so funny.
It would have been really nice to draw 4 cards there, but
Attack for 1.
19 or 18.
I'll fetch. Swamp. I'm gonna play a Fiend Artisan.
Resolves.
And then I'm gonna play a Luminous Broodmoth.
Resolves.
Go ahead.
All right.
Is this Extinction event?
Go. I don't think my deck does anything.
Alright, what do I want to find here? So he's actually going to discard when this comes back to this. I guess...
This Broodmoth is a nightmare, dude.
it's actually an insect.
I'm sitting over here with my derpy sorcery speed draw 4, and you're just like, alright, I'm gonna make you exile this from your hand, and...
I'll guess Duress.
Why not even wait on this? What is it? What the heck? Alright, which one do you want? I've got the 6th drop I couldn't cast, the other 6th drop I couldn't cast, because your Acquisitions Expert made me discard 2 lands.
I'll take the Typhoon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm
And
gonna
then
draw the land next turn, I can feel it.
I'm going to attack you... oh, yeah, I can... yeah, I'll attack you for 4.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm going to pot away... this for 3.
Okay.
So this comes back first.
I'm gonna respond to all this, I'm gonna cycle
Okay.
the pot activation. Okay.
So this comes back first. Trigger.
I was gonna draw the land too. I was just sitting here, I've now discarded 3 lands. I can't draw my cards.
I guess I can get this one back. This one's kind of sweet. Does it really matter what I get?
I hate this so much. I'm just sitting here, literally, I made no plays, and you're just like tutoring, putting powerful things in play, killing guys, they just keep coming back.
I guess I want to insulate myself against Extinction event. So I'm gonna get a Wolf Strider. Oh, you know what's really cool is I can... I can make it so that Zach's draw step gets bricked. If I get another expert, I can sacrifice it to the Broodmoth during your draw step and make you lose card.
That's great.
I'll get a goat.
Alright, I'm gonna draw for turn.
Go ahead.
Why'd you draw Heartless Sack? I'll kill the Moth.
I will sack it to the Wolf Strider in
Alright,
response.
this feels terrible.
Uh,
Every play you're making is like way better than every play I'm making.
So hold on, how much are you at? 14?
14.
This is a 3, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's one short.
Yeah, it is. Live to fight another day.
Alright, there's like a lot of fodder for my Fiend Artisan, which is pretty cool.
Oh no, do you have an Aghanim Awakening?
No, not yet.
Oh jeez.
Soon, I'm sure.
Soon.
Alright, that's fine. We'll just... this card's reasonable.
Alright.
I'll just draw it. Oh, no, this is lethal. This is lethal.
Wait.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is lethal. Okay. So I do this first. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, because then I sacrifice it. Yeah, yeah. So I play this, and I play this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You go to 7. And then I sacrifice these to this, or to this. This will grow, and then I'll kill you.
Alright, I believe you.
It's
But
lethal.
it's not as much as I believe you as much as I still want to play. But
So don't worry, it's all on the up and up.
it'll be good.
Oh man.
Thought I found a real deck here, maybe not.
I think my deck's just broken. I think we just established
Your deck
that.
actually looks really good. Alright, we're back for sideboarding between games 2 and 3. I don't know how good my deck is, but it feels like I need more card draw, so we're going to put some Jace Mirror Mages in, we're going to cut some Cling to Dust.
Makes sense to me.
And we're going to see if we can outgrind this Moth that is giving us huge issues. This card is supposedly supposed to answer the Moth. It hasn't seemed like it's done that very well so far, so...
You don't have the cards to throw away to answer them off, unfortunately.
Yep, I'm bringing my Jaces to pair with my Shadow Verdicts, I'm going to get them.
Nice.
Yep.
That's a nice combo.
Combo, yeah. Alright, if this hand's not a keep, I don't know what is.
Alright, let's see it.
I'm gonna keep.
Keep it 2.
Alright, go ahead.
Well, I'll play temple.
Good, 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 good. I'm gonna fetch a swamp.
I'm gonna bomb that.
Clear water pathway, go ahead.
Play this as the Grim Climb.
Yep.
Cast Bean Arson.
Probably second it.
Good.
Rolling variants, you go.
Alright. We're going to play a... What's right?
Probably second it.
So with the trigger on the stack?
Yep.
Good.
Draw. A cycle boot of the Wish Giver.
Great.
Here you go.
I will play a Beldroid Sacrifice and go.
Yep.
I'm going to play a Branch Loft Pathway as a Boulder Loft. And the reason why I'm playing this card is because,
Bean Arson.
yeah, it's a Bean Artisan. It's basically like a plains that can sometimes cast Bean Artisan. And I'll play a Wolf Strider again.
Yep.
Trigger.
Yep.
Good.
I'm gonna cycle the Shark Typhoon. Cycle and neutralize.
Sorry, deck's being so mean to you.
Go ahead.
Jesus. One tap. Alright. I'm gonna cast Beldroid Sacrifice and go.
Yeah.
What's so funny?
Oh, nothing. I just like watching my opponents do all their game plans in control decks, so I'm stumbling on land drops. It's great.
I'll take it for 3.
Alright, I'm at 17.
I'm gonna be patient with this. Oh. So I play that and answers it. I guess. Yeah, I'll be patient. So I'm gonna cast a Duress.
Got 3 sweepers in my hand, an Into the Royal, another neutralize, and a Soul Shatter.
This hand's pretty stacked.
Yeah, so I'm missing land drops here, but it's actually like the type of hand that can come back from a game like that.
For sure.
But I need to hit him at some point. I kept a 3 land hand too. Not drawn one.
Yikes. Alright, I'm gonna take your Extinction Event.
It's gone.
And then I'm gonna play a Bright Climb once again as a Green Climb. Play a Selfless Savior.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Here you go.
Get your 4.
Take 4. 13.
Keep getting black mana. And I will cast Aghatim's Awakening for X equals 3.
I'll neutralize it.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna into Royal the Wolf Strider.
Yep.
Good.
So was Zach having two? What's that card called? Shadow.
Shadow Verdict.
Shadow's Verdict. With him having that in his hand, I almost don't even want to play the Wolf Strider again, just to kind of protect it, because it's not safe in the graveyard or in play. So what I'm going to do is attack for 1.
12.
I'm going to cast Duress, see what Zach's working with.
Got another Shark Typhoon and a Blood Chief's Thirst.
Okay. We're going to take the Soul Shatter.
Yep.
And then we're going to play this Brood Moth.
Sure.
Right now it's not something that Zach can answer, which is nice. Good.
You've got 2 cards in hand?
Yep.
I drew a black source. I'm going to play this as Merkway. And I think I'm going to cast the Shadow's Verdict.
Okay.
Interesting way to get rid of that thing, but
Yes, I can sacrifice it and...
doesn't get rid of all the stuff in the graveyard, so now Aghatim's Awakening is not a good draw. Go ahead. I'm set up to be able to deal with Broodmoth next turn.
That's what you think, my friend.
Great.
I'm gonna play another pump.
No! Good 9.
And... Do I want to play this Wolf Strider? He's just going to play the Shadow's Verdict if I do, but then I get to scry twice. Actually, more times than twice. Which isn't the worst spot to be in. Otherwise, what is he going to do? Just cycle Shark Typhoon? Which isn't too bad either. It does break my Savior. Yeah, I kind of want to force him to do it, so I'll play this and get a goat.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, Shadow's Verdict.
Alright, so I'll sack this, scry 1, bottom that, sack the Savior, come back, scry 1. That we will keep. And these two will get exiled.
Neutral.
So we're going to attack Zach for 3,
6.
play a Whisper Squad.
Oh, jeez.
Good. So hopefully Zach's out of sweepers. We've dealt with a few here.
Play Crawling Barrens.
Yep.
Pass.
Okay. That's up. Activate Whisper Squad.
Yep.
And I'm going to do it 2 more times.
Sure. Ash. Such a good draw in 7 mana here.
Yeah, it is. Come back. Back for 7.
Circle Shark Typhoon.
Yep.
Make a 4/4.
Sure.
Block you.
Yep.
Do I have sharks?
Hope so.
I think you had the sharks.
Oh, I might have the sharks.
You had the sharks.
Then we go grab it. Are you going to cut this?
Don't worry about it. Krakens will be a shark.
Fair enough. Okay.
Go to 2.
22. I'll play another one. Good.
Perfect. Draw.
Ugh. So I just like don't have it out here. I need a sweeper is what I need.
I've seen a few.
I have seen a few. So I can cast both this and this. I don't think there's a line that saves me. If I could actually kill one of your things, it would. No, it still wouldn't, mate. But oh my god. This Moth, man. I'm also, again, screwed by Crawling Barons not tapping for colored mana. Because I could have done this before.
So it's not free.
Not free. I don't think I'm playing it going forward. Alright. I have an Ashiok. Wait, I was probably supposed to play this tap last turn. I missed a lane drop. I totally forgot. I know I was saving it because I needed to kill Moth. I don't know. It doesn't change how this game plays out if I put it tapped or not. So if I bounce, yeah, I'm 1 point short. I can bounce this, make you exile a card,
Kill him,
let
I
G's
guess.
thirst one of those,
Exactly.
and take exactly lethal. Yeah, it's tough. All right, good games, man.
Yes. Yeah, another Aghanim Awakening with these shadow verdicts are pretty brutal.
Nice. So they did something, even though they didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, they didn't win the game. Ooh, this would have been a nice one if you ever dealt with this.
Yeah. All right, so wrap up here. Let's talk about your deck. Your deck seemed pretty good.
Let's talk about my deck. Alright. I think my deck is pretty cool. This is kind of played out the way I pictured it. A lot of the pieces just like worked together. They protected each other.
Yeah.
We constantly had a source of pressure on Zach. None of our creatures just like have text and nothing else. They're just like they're always attacking, right?
Yep.
This card is the card I wanted to build around, and it felt like it overperformed. It didn't really see it trigger too many times, but the threat of it triggering made it so you have to play completely different.
That card felt busted from this side of the table, and it doesn't seem like it should be as good as it is. I think the Selfless Savior package with it is just extremely real.
Yeah.
The Selfless Savior package with it is just a nightmare, and I'm even playing cards to get around it. I have like Into the Royal, I have Shadow Verdict, I've got Essence Scatter. I have like ways to deal with it, and it was just I was never close to dealing with it. All 3 games came down to this thing just beating me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that card feels really good, man, and we had it high on our top 10 list, and it deserves that spot. That effect is so powerful, especially when you compare with Wolfstrider and sacrifice things.
Yep. Yeah, and like we saw, like with Wolfstrider and Fiend Artisan and the Acquisition Expert, we made like an engine to make our opponent continuously discard cards.
Yep.
Felt pretty cool. I don't know. I mean, like we've only seen it against one matchup. You're like a removal-based deck, so like having recursive threats is going to be pretty good against you.
Yeah.
We have to see how it holds up against like an Uro deck or like
Sure.
an aggressive deck. But I think I have enough like blockers and life gain that I think I'd be fine against aggressive decks.
Sure.
And then the reason why we have the Grey Merchants to try to like be able to beat people who can like muck up the ground, right? We have like a way to like drain, sack, drain again, do that multiple times.
Yeah.
So.
This deck looks really good.
I will say this card was like quietly insane. Like it was just like
Yeah.
I was getting goats from Wolfstrider or like having my Acquisition Expert, which already made you discard a card and deal a couple of points of damage. 1 mana draw 2 is just like way too good for standard. Like
Yeah, this card's busted.
Yeah.
I'm playing 7 mana draw 2s.
I know you are.
You have 1 mana draw 2s.
Instant speed.
Yeah, mine's not even an instant. Why can't I have an instant?
You had like neutralize up and you cycle down. Like, oh, here's my chance. Draw 2.
Can I have an instant, please?
No. No.
Yes, this deck felt really good.
This land felt as like insane as we talked it.
Was it?
Build it up to be like. I mean, you had a way to literally nuke my graveyard.
Yeah.
And I still like made you ways
I had to
on
neutralize it.
Yeah.
I had to neutralize it.
Yep.
That was ridiculous.
And even
How do you
there, I
land?
was like, I still had the second one in my hand. I'd been
Yeah.
holding it for a while, so that if you ever dealt with the next Broodmoth and the 1/1s, I can at least get back 2 creatures.
Yep.
Yeah, this card is awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing bad to say about this deck. I don't think there's that much to add. It's hard to tell how good it is because you just destroyed me. So maybe it's really good. Maybe my deck's really bad. We don't know.
Mhm.
But that's definitely the type of deck where it looks like it's doing something powerful. It felt like it was doing powerful things when we played.
we need to keep testing and tuning it because it feels really good.
Yes, I agree.
So from my side of the table, how'd you feel about this deck, Raja?
It did not look good.
It didn't look good.
And I'm not surprised because like when I was thinking about like blue-black control, we talked about this earlier in the week.
Yep.
I was struggling to think of like reasons to be blue-black, right?
Yep.
Like when you want to build a deck, there's usually gotta be like a reason. You can't just build it because like, oh, this seems fun. Like
Sure.
you have to like, oh, this is like a really powerful like engine or aspect of the format that can attack with only this deck. And that deck doesn't feel like it's doing that at all. Like there's
Nope.
nothing that like it does uniquely, right? It feels like it's either like doing the same things or doing a worse version of other things.
Sure. Well, so, and I agree with you. The reason I did it was I wanted to see how a 2-color counterspell-based deck would play. And it probably is a better counterspell-based deck than any other deck in the format. So, from your perspective, what's it doing better than other stuff? It's playing counterspells.
Sure.
Now, the question becomes, is that actually good? And the answer seems like it's no.
Yeah.
But that's what I was trying to do, right? I think having played it, Shark Typhoon felt horrible. This card, I mean, it was one of the best cards from the last set, and it's seen play in Modern, it's seen a ton of play in Pioneer, and it just...
Well, so it lost its prey,
Yeah.
which was Teferi. Teferi
Yep.
was its prey. And then 2 of the enablers it lost was Wilderness Wreck
Yep.
and Nissa, Who Shakes the World.
Sure.
So we lost ways to make a lot of mana to make huge creatures.
Yep.
And we lost a card that... This card was really good because it pressured Teferi out of decks that wants to cast spells at instant speed.
Yep.
So, I don't know what niche it really fills at this point, right?
Well, so I'm with you. The niche it's kind of trying to fill in this deck is that I need some powerful top-end finisher to... Because the problem with this deck, right, is like I can play... It has a lot of good interaction cheap, like Heartless Act, Eliminate, Bloodchief's Thirst, Essence Scatter, Neutralize. All of that is actually good. That's a good cheap interaction sweep to get you from the early game into the late game.
Yep.
And then when I get to the late game, I'm just still not doing anything.
You know,
like,
you know what would be a better version of that deck? Is Jeskai still has the Triome and
Sure.
2 of the Pathways.
okay.
And so I feel like your deck kind of wanted the Jeskai Ultimatum. A
Okay.
way to just draw a bunch of cards, gain life, deal with something on the board. Seems very good. Like 7 mana is a lot.
Yep.
But like you were getting to 7 mana and you were just drawing 2.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
So if you just like play the deck with a lot of lands and can cast that card,
Well,
out turn 7.
Shatter Skull Smashing is also the type of card that is really good in a controlling deck. It's
Absolutely.
like much better than a non-controlling deck, honestly.
Honestly, I think that's true for basically all of the that cycle. They all
Sure.
cost a lot of mana, and like if you can play long enough
Except
to,
the blue one, apparently. Which isn't-
it's not good at anything.
it's not good at anything, I guess. This still, I still don't. So the one thing that I think needs to be explored with this is it needs a finisher, right? It needs a finisher that draws cards and gains life and wins the game. It should probably just be playing Uro, right? I wanted to try a deck that wasn't playing Uro. After playing any amount of this deck, I think I should probably have Uro.
Well, I think if you want to be a blue counterspell deck, like I don't know that Uro. I guess Uro can just be a blue counterspell deck too, can he?
Uro's just good in
He
everything.
can be everything, right?
It's like comical that I was just not playing Uro, but
Yep.
I think it's worth trying. It's like, well, how good is Uro? Well, this deck with Uro in it probably would have been close to a match for your deck or good against it. Without Uro, it was comically bad.
Yep.
Like I just didn't have a shot.
There was a card from a courier that I was really high on during spoiler season. I forget what it's called, but it's a 4-mana enchantment that's in Jeskai colors.
Okay.
And-
Whirlwind of Thought.
Yes. And it made it so that whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you can draw a card.
Okay.
So if we're going back to Jeskai once again, 2 of the cards that kind of like made the card embarrassing to play were Teferi and Narset.
Sure.
And they're both gone. I wonder if that's another way to like try to draw cards
Yeah.
in blue, like right now when there's not really ways to do it outside of Uro, obviously.
Sure.
Play Opt, and play that, and
Sure.
try
I
to get
mean,
there.
I can get behind playing some Jeskai. I think that's going to be the next place we look for control. I tried building Blue-White. Blue-White is not good. Blue-White didn't have the spot removal. It does have the sweepers, but it does have kind of a finisher where it's got Dream Trawler, which is actually a good finisher.
Yes, it does.
But it just... Blue and white just don't have good cheap removal. I mean, I can play Essence Scatter and Into the Royal. I can
Glass Casket.
Glass Casket, I guess. I can kind of go that route.
Red
But
got some good stuff.
the problem with Blue-White is I don't even have the pathway. So...
yeah, it's just
I
the
guess
temple deck.
I guess I'm just going to be playing a Rauger and Triome anyway, and then it's like, well, why am I not just Jeskai? We can
Yeah.
play the Ultimatum, it'd be really good.
Yep, and like you want spot removal, you're gonna get in red.
Yep.
The new Lava Coil that hits Planeswalkers might be pretty good. in
That
the
one's
control
good.
deck.
I mean, I got Scorching Dragonfire too, which is probably even better.
Probably, yeah.
But, yeah, alright. Well, I think that's enough for this. We can safely retire Blue-Black. Black-White looked really good. Next control deck, I think I'm going to try some Jeskai. That sounds good. That ultimatum sounds pretty sweet. I know I cast it.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
That seems like a much better finisher than whatever I was trying to do here.
Whatever that was.
To do it, yeah.
I don't really care for Narset, but like Narset's pretty good at a deck that's playing Dream Trawler or ECD and the Ultimatum because they all cost 1,000,000 mana.
Yeah, so I agree with you on that.
And Boon with Wish Giver.
Yep.
So
I do agree with you on that. I am actually curious. Do you think Narset or Teferi is better?
I hate them both so much. I'm really low on both those cards.
Fair enough.
I guess Narset by in that type of deck. I like Teferi more in decks like playing Joriel and Uro because like the synergies are there. In a deck like that, I think Narset gives you more.
I agree too. I think Narset's going to be slightly better. All right, well, I think that's enough on these two decks. Remember, if you guys like these videos and want to see more of us testing them out, kind of trying to figure out the format before it comes out, let us know. We're happy to keep doing it. Liking the videos, leaving comments, subscribing to the channel, all of it helps. And if you guys could do that, it really helps us continue to do this. So we would really appreciate it. Anything you want to add?
No, just like you said, honestly, comments is something that we really enjoy. We like interacting with the viewers, so it's a great opportunity for us to do so. It gives us good feedback.
Yep.
Tell us what we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Anything. That'd be
All right.
nice.
Cool. With that, we'll talk to you guys next time.
See ya.